You know what my superpower is? I can see through my students' personality after just a few lessons. I can come up with distinct personality traits just from how they play. You can't lie when you play the piano. Your personality always comes through, not just in how you perform, but how you learn, how you practice, and honestly, where you get stuck. After teaching mostly adults for several years, I've noticed 5 distinct learning personalities at the piano. And once you understand your type, so many things suddenly make sense. So I created a quiz. It's got these weirdly specific situational questions, and it'll tell you exactly which type you are. Plus, give you personalized practice strategies that actually work for the way your brain works. The link is in the description. Here's one of those questions. You have 20 minutes before dinner, you sit down at the piano, and immediately, do you, A, jump into that new piece you've been wanting to try, B, work through your warm-up routine first, C, let your hands wander until you stumble onto something beautiful, D, open your practice notebook to see what's scheduled for today, E, spend 10 minutes analyzing the score before playing a single note. Okay, now let's meet the 5 types. If you picked A, jump into that new piece you've been wanting to try, you are an explorer. You love discovery, new pieces, new composers, new sounds. You're genuinely curious about everything. I have a student, Andrew, who brings a different piece, I think, to almost every single lesson. He opens his tablet and scrolls through like 100 PDFs and trying to find what he wants to work on that day. He would say something like, let's do this Chopin Etude today. Wait, no. I was working on this Mozart piano sonata. I had a few questions about this. And honestly, I love that about him. If this sounds like you, your strengths are enthusiasm, curiosity, you love discovering new music. Where you tend to struggle is finishing things. You get bored once the initial excitement wears off and when the real work begins. You might have like 8, 10 pieces going all at once, and honestly, you don't have a recollection of starting half of them. If you're an explorer, here's the thing, you don't have to change who you are, but try this. Pick 2 or 3 pieces. Actually set a time every day to work on these specific 2 to 3 pieces and commit to really learning them. Not perfectly, but set the goal to just be able to play them well enough so that you could play them for a friend or family without stumbling through. And here's your reward. Once you finish, or once you perform one, you get to start something new. You'll be surprised how satisfying it feels to actually complete something instead of always being halfway through everything. B, if you picked B, you are the kind of person to work through your warm-up routine first. You are a technician. You're the person who secretly, or not so secretly, loves drills and exercises. You feel secure when things are solid under your fingers. I would put myself under this category during my undergrad and grad school. I love the feeling of control and knowing exactly what my 10 fingers were doing. And if this sounds like you, your strengths are accuracy, precision, and when you practice something, you tend to really work on the details. Evenness of the 16th notes, you carefully voice your chords, and precision of rhythm. Your playing is clean, secure, and organized. Your weakness, however, sometimes you focus on details, the small things, that you forget to see the big picture. The phrase, the story, the emotion that you're trying to communicate. You might sound a little too safe. It sounds like a little bit boxed in. If you are a technician, then try this. Understand that security doesn't just come from drilling notes. It also comes from expression. When you practice for control, practice the expression at the same time. The dynamics, your timing, the shape of the phrase. When you start feeling the music's expression as part of your playing, not separate from it, your playing will sound richer, more alive, more like a mature musician. If you picked C, you're the kind of person that let your hands wander until you stumble onto something beautiful. You are a dreamer. You're here for the feels. Your music is emotion, poetry, it's a story. You hear something beautiful and you're just transported. And your strength is expressiveness, your imagination. You have a vision for how you want things to sound, and when it works, it's truly magical. However, where you tend to struggle is turning that imagination into reality. You hear it so vividly in your head, but your fingers aren't quite doing what you want, and you might not even be aware of that. And sometimes your practice is a little wishy-washy, and you're kind of hoping that your hands will figure it out. You think that your audience is hearing what you hear in your head. If you're a dreamer, try this. Be as precise as you can with how you want to shape a phrase. Don't just sing it in your head and hope your fingers will follow. Directly experience your own sound. Listen to what's coming out, record yourself, and compare it to what you had imagined in your head. Are they the same or are they different? How are they different? And if your fingers aren't cooperating, find a tiny technical drill in that difficult phrase. Feel each finger clearly articulating. Think of scales as a spa treatment for your fingers. They're not the enemy. They're what help you express what you're hearing. Your imagination is a gift. Let's just make sure that your fingers can keep up with it. If you picked D, open your practice notebook to see what's scheduled for today. You're the careful one. You're so well behaved. You know what to do in every musical situation. You've never rebelled against the composer's intention or teacher's instruction. You follow every marking, every instruction. Where you tend to struggle is that you don't fully express yourself. You're so worried about making an ugly sound or doing the wrong thing, you're going to offend somebody. And it holds you back. Your playing is good, really good, but you are missing that 2% of expressiveness that would take you from good to great. What actually helps for you is if you can take a passage that feels a little unfulfilled to you, something that you know could be more, and take that phrase and exaggerate every expression in that passage, like totally crazy, doing that crescendo, make it outrageous, and really lean into that timing and do everything you can to push it further than feels comfortable. And then listen to yourself. Was that too much? 99%, it wasn't. It was probably just right. And if it was too much, then it's easy to dial it down. You can always pull back. But you will never know your full range of expression, your full capability, if you don't explore the edges of your comfort zone first. Give yourself permission to be a little bold. Your music will thank you. If you picked E, spend 10 minutes analyzing the score before playing a single note. You are the analyzer. I don't know if it's a coincidence, but a lot of my students are in the STEM field in their professional career, and they fall into this category. And they love the why. They want to understand the harmony, the structure, the theory. You're the person who's reading about the sonata form, asking how this particular Beethoven sonata is different from one of the later ones, or how this one motif ties the whole sonata together. And if you are an analyzer, your strengths are depth and insight. You understand music on a level that most people don't even think about. You see the architecture. Where you tend to struggle, what holds you back is paralysis by analysis. Sometimes you think more than you play. You can spend so much time understanding the piece intellectually that you forget to actually experience it physically. If you're an analyzer, try this. Give yourself permission to just play sometimes. Close the theory book, put down the score analysis, switch off your analyzing brain, and sit at the piano and let your hands learn something your brain does not have to understand first. Your analytical mind is a huge asset, but it works best when it's balanced with your physical exploration. Let your fingers discover things, let your ears guide you. You don't have to understand everything before you start. Sometimes understanding comes through playing. Sometimes you have to learn it by trial and error. You can think of it this way. Your brain will actually thank you for giving it a break. So which type are you? Maybe you saw yourself clearly in one, maybe you're a mix of two, and that's totally normal. We're not one-dimensional. And here's the thing, there's no best type for piano playing. The goal isn't to change who you are, it's just to understand yourself better so that you can practice smarter and make meaningful progress. The quiz link is in the description along with the guide that breaks down each type in more detail. I'm genuinely curious. Drop a comment and tell me which type you think you are. I read every single one. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!